Welcome back, grade 11, with the reading and writing unit 1 North Star Genius, Nature or Nurture? Exactly. Today we're going to talk about reading 2. That is the focus of this video for today. Reading 2, 10,000 hours to mastery. Yes. Okay. Look at the bold-faced words in the reading and think about the questions. Now, before we continue with that, the bold-faced words are always the vocabulary for that particular part in the unit in our book. But it's cool to know that we can also look at the vocabulary that is allocated for Unit 1 in our book at the back of our book. Now, if you go to page 262, now there you go, unit word list. Here you can see for Unit 1, these are the words for Unit 1. Okay, so we've got anxious, assimilate, benefit, compensate, disabled, emerging, estimate, expertise, flexible, image, interaction, persistence, predictable, retain, savant, sum, and transforms. Or maybe this word can also be pronounced as savant. Yes. Okay, these are the words for Unit 1. Now, the words for the reading and writing, the vocabulary for reading and writing is different from the listening and speaking. So is the grammar. We have grammar allocated specifically for reading and writing, which is also different from the grammar in the listening and speaking book. Focus on the first column, the North Star Reading and Writing Level 4, 4th edition. So in Unit 1, we're going to focus on models and semi-models. That is the focus of the grammar for reading and writing in Unit 1. Awesome. Okay, we're going to go back to the beginning of our unit. Now I will bring you again back to reading 2, 10,000 hours to mastery. Okay. So, the bold-faced words we can find in the text. If we take a quick sneak peek, we find persistence or persistency, sometimes pronounced like that, expertise, emerging. I love bold-faced words. They're easy to find. Assimilate. And we've got transforms. Yeah. Now, well, let's do a little bit of previewing before we go back. Looking at this text. What kind of text is this? What's the topic? 10,000 Hours to Mastery by Harvey Mackay. And what purpose does it have? That is previewing. You're going to determine the type of text. And then you determine, also you look at the topic and determine the purpose of the text. And by doing so, it will give you focus, knowing what to read for. You do that for listening? Yes. You also do that for a text when you want to read. Both do the same thing. Okay? So, which words do you know the meaning of the bold-faced words? If there are words you don't know, then don't hesitate. Use your search engine to look it up. And can you use any of the words or phrases in a sentence? Are you able to make a sentence out of the words? Read the article. So it is an article, right? About Malcolm Gladwell's book, Outliers, The Story of Success. As you read, notice the bold-faced vocabulary and try to guess the meaning of the words from the context. That means that you're looking, even if there are some words that you don't know or you kind of doubt, but by looking at the sentence that comes before the bold-faced word and the text that comes after the bold-faced word up to here, you can probably already predict what the word persistence means. Okay, so you're kind of looking at the text around the bold-faced word in order to understand what it means. Now, the first thing we did just now was previewing. That's the first skill. The second skill I want to talk about today is skimming. Okay? Skimming is very important because it helps you to get the main idea in a text. How you skim is you read the first paragraph, You read the topic sentence of each body paragraph and you read the last paragraph. And from that information, you can come up with the main idea, which is only one sentence. Okay? While you're skimming, it is important that you annotate. Yeah? Remember what was that again? Exactly. Underlining or circling or highlighting keywords, right? Yeah, so that's what you do when you're skimming. Let's do it together to see how it goes. For years, I have preached the importance of hard work, determination, persistence, and practice make that perfect practice as key ingredients of success. A nifty new book seems to support my theory. Malcolm Gladwell has written a fascinating study, Outliers, the Story of Success, Little Brown and Co., which should make a lot of people feel much better about not achieving instant success. The people at the very top don't just work harder or even much harder than everyone else, Gladwell writes. For example, he describes the Beatles. They had been together 7 years before their famous arrival in America. Neurologist Daniel Levitin has studied the formula for success extensively and shares this finding. Two computer giants, Bill Joy, who co-founded Sun Microsystems, and Bill Gates, co-founder of Microsoft, also were proof of the 10,000-hour theory. As Gladwell puts it, practice isn't the thing you do once you're good. Consider these thoughts from successful folks in all walks of life. No one can arrive from being talented alone. I know the price of success. The way to learn to do things is to do things. Do you detect a theme here? The abilities these people possessed were far-ranging, yet the formula for success was the same. Hard work, and lots of it. I don't know anyone who has succeeded any other way. Some people just make it look easy. Of course, you probably didn't see the first 9,999 hours of hard work. And you don't just have to work hard. You have to work smart too. Okay, that is skimming, and you can do that way faster than how I read it just now. While you're skimming, you underline or circle the keywords. Okay, you can also make margin notes. Like margin notes is writing in the margins next to the paragraph. For example, here at the left side. So you write a keyword that is correlated to that paragraph, or maybe here at the left side, a keyword that's correlated to this paragraph, or at the right side. Either way, in the left margin or in the right margin. All right. Okay, we're going to read this. I'm going to turn on the audio. You can listen and read along.
10,000 Hours to Mastery by Harvey Mackay. For years, I have preached the importance of hard work, determination, persistence, and practice, make that perfect practice, as key ingredients of success. A nifty new book seems to support my theory. Malcolm Gladwell has written a fascinating study, Outliers, the Story of Success, Little Brown and Company, which should make a lot of people feel much better about not achieving instant success. In fact, he says it takes about 10 years or 10,000 hours of practice to attain true expertise. The people at the very top don't just work harder or even much harder than everyone else, Gladwell writes. They work much, much harder. Achievement, he says, is talent plus preparation. Preparation seems to play a bigger role. For example, he describes the Beatles. They had been together 7 years before their famous arrival in America. They spent a lot of time playing in strip clubs in Hamburg, Germany, sometimes for as long as 8 hours a night. Overnight sensation? Not exactly. Estimates are the band performed 1,200 times before their big success in 1964. By comparison, most bands don't perform 1,200 times in their careers. Neurologist Daniel Levitin has studied the formula for success extensively and shares this finding. The emerging picture from such studies is that 10,000 hours of practice is required to achieve the level of mastery associated with being a world-class expert in anything. In study after study of composers, basketball players, fiction writers, ice skaters, concert pianists, chess players, master criminals, and what have you, the number comes up again and again. Of course, this doesn't address why some people get more out of their practice sessions than others do. But no one has yet found a case in which true world-class expertise was accomplished in less time. It seems it takes the brain this long to assimilate all that it needs to know to achieve true mastery. Two computer giants, Bill Joy, who co-founded Sun Microsystems, and Bill Gates, co-founder of Microsoft, also were proof of the 10,000-hour theory. As Gladwell puts it, practice isn't the thing you do once you're good. It's the thing you do that makes you good. Consider these thoughts from successful folks in all walks of life. No one can arrive from being talented alone. God gives talent. Work transforms talent into genius. Anna Pavlova, ballerina. I know the price of success: dedication, hard work, and an unremitting devotion to the things you want to see happen. Frank Lloyd Wright, architect. The way to learn to do things is to do things. The way to learn a trade is to work at it. Success teaches how to succeed. Begin with the determination to succeed, and the work is half done already. Mark Twain, writer and humorist. Do you detect a theme here? The abilities these people possessed were far-ranging, yet the formula for success was the same: hard work and lots of it. I don't know anyone who has succeeded any other way. Some people just make it look easy. Of course, you probably didn't see the first 9,999 hours of hard work. And you don't just have to work hard, you have to work smart, too. McKay's moral: some people dream about success, and others wake up and do something about it.
Nicely stated, McKay. Very nicely stated. Okay, now it is the text, and we're going to continue with the comprehension. Complete each statement according to the information in the article. So you do not have the options. You got to look for it in the text. So the first thing you do is you annotate the first part of the sentence, number 1, 2, 3, and 4. Annotate, underline, circle the keywords, and then you will scan through the text to find the rest of it. Now that brings us to the third reading skill, scanning. Scanning is not when you're reading. You're kind of looking over the task really fast. Now you're kind of going over it. And basically when you do that, you're not reading, but you're looking for a specific keyword. Now that keyword that you're looking for is related to the question. Okay? So in case here, according to Gladwell, achievement is. So we are focused on the definition or the meaning of achievement. So when you're scanning, you're going to look for the definition of achievement. That's what you're focused on. Now, the first one I will do with you. Gladwell says that achievement is talent plus preparation. And preparation seems to play a bigger role. That's what Gladwell said about achievement. It's talent plus preparation, but preparation seems to play a bigger role. Okay, you're going to answer number 2, 3, and 4. You can pause your video to answer. Go ahead. Okay, cool. We continue with the reading skill. Basically, we go back to reading 2, to the text, and you underline the quotations. And what do you think McKay includes these? Why does he include these quotations? So if we would go back to the text, we see that he has included quotations. The first one: no one can arrive from being talented alone. God gives talent. Work transforms talent into genius. Anna Pavlova, ballerina. The second quote, I know the price of success, dedication, hard work, and an unremitting devotion to the things you want to see happen. Frank Lloyd Wright, architect. There's one more. The way to learn to do things is to do things. The way to learn a trade is to work at it. Success teaches how to succeed. Begin with the determination to succeed, and the work is half done already. Mark Twain, writer and humorist. Now, this is what we're looking at. We have these three quotes. Sorry, I went one page too far. We have these three quotes. Now, why do you think that he included those quotations? Why did he do that? He didn't have to do that, but he did it. Now, I'd like you to write down why you think he included those quotes. Pause the video to answer. Distinguishing voice in quotations. Now, distinguishing voice, what is distinguishing? It means that you recognize. When you distinguish something, you recognize something. So you're basically recognizing the voice in a quotation, the voice of someone, not so much like what they sound like, but the personality of the person, what the person stands for, believes in. So it is an important reading skill. Distinguishing voice is an important reading skill, as it can sometimes be confusing whether we are reading the author's words or someone else's words. Is it just the author writing it down, or are those someone else's words, or are that actually the author's words? Now, one indication of a change in voice is quotation marks. When we see the quotation marks, we know that a quote is coming up. It means that someone else said it. Another indication is a change in pronouns. For example, from third person, he, she, or they, to the first person, I or we. So in order to fully comprehend the text, you need to notice when a shift in voice takes place to know who is speaking. Yeah? Is it the author who is speaking, or is it someone else who is speaking? Authors often shift the voice in their writing by using quoted speech. Yeah? Quotations can add first-hand validity to a point the author has made, or can provide details or examples of what the author has been talking about, or can continue the story in another voice for added interest. So basically, it is important for you to be able to recognize when you read a text, who's talking here. Is this the author, the narrator talking, the author himself, or is this someone else talking? Yeah, by quoting someone else or reporting someone else's words. We can also use quotes in order to add validity, which means the word validity refers to the word valid, and valid means that it has merit, which means it has meaning. It has meaning. It can help you to be more objective or more factual. It adds meaning. So McKay included two quotations from Gladwell's book. Now, it added validity to what McKay says, as the words are Gladwell's. So using someone else's words and adding that as proof or as a support to what you are saying can make it seem more real, or more effective, or more believable, because you're using someone else's words. Okay. Great. Now, what is it that you're going to do? You're going to read the following excerpts from reading 1, and all double quotation marks have been removed. Now, what I want you to do is underline the sections where the voice changes from the author to someone else. So I want you to figure out where it changes. Where does the voice switch from the author talking to someone else talking? I want you to see that, and then you underline that section, okay? And I want you to add quotation marks where they are supposed to be, because they're all taken away. So underline the section in this short paragraph where you see a switch or change from speaker, yeah? So the voice changes from the author's to someone else's, and I want you to add the quotation marks where necessary. Okay, does that make sense? So, for example, you need to know, later on you can think about this, how do you know where the change of voice occurs? Now, you must see that in your text and knowing where you add the quotations. Yeah? Great. Awesome beans. Now, I'm going to give you some time to do that. You can pause your video. Good luck. Great. So you did that until number 4. That leads us to connect the readings, which is the part where we are trying to connect the text of reading 1 to the text in reading 2, and we synthesize to figure out what it is. Now, it brings us back to this understanding of what synthesizing is, which I also already explained last time. It's when we're combining sources or facts in order to get not a conclusion. No, to create something new. So basically we have text 1 with the article and text 2, and combining both and seeing, hey, how are they the same and in what areas are they different? Connecting the information. Basically, it helps you to be more critical in your analysis, but also when you would be writing or when you would be speaking, it helps you to incorporate different material to create something new. That's synthesizing, right? So here you see reading 1, R1, and reading 2, R2, both talk about genius. Now, a Venn diagram can show where the ideas about genius are found. Read the statements in the box and write the number of the statement in the correct part of the diagram. You include the paragraph number where the information is found. So as you can see here, this is a picture of a Venn diagram. Venn diagrams are used to show comparison and contrast, so similarities and differences. So the comparison, which is the similarities, always go in the middle where they're overlapping. So these are the things that they have both in common. And then left and right show the contrast, the differences. Okay. Now here you have 7 points of information, and I want you to figure out which statement goes where. And you have to write the number of that statement in the correct part, whether that's left, in the middle, or at the right. But you also have to include the paragraph number where you got that information from. See, you have the paragraph numbers here, so you can see exactly what paragraph number it was. Okay. Wow. Yeah, you got to think about that one. That is good. That is called synthesizing. Okay, go ahead. Try it out. Awesome. Great job. Now I'm going to give you one away. The rest we will discuss in our next Zoom meeting. For Genius Explained, R1, the first one is number 1, which is genius may be the result of brain chemistry. And that is in paragraph 4. And the first one for both is number 5. Genius is being studied by scientists. That one can be found in reading 1 in R1 in paragraph 4, and in reading 2, R2, that can be found in paragraph 4 as well. And by the way, for the both, there's only one, so there's nothing else anymore. The rest goes either into left or right. And for 10,000 hours, R2, number 3, people at the top experts work harder than other people, and that can be found in paragraph 3. There are still 2 other points that go in the left and in the right, and that is for you to figure out. Yes. That brings us to step 2, which is the synthesizing. Here it says that imagine that one of you is Daniel Tammet and the other is Malcolm Gladwell. On a separate piece of paper, write 3 questions that you would like to ask each other. What is it that you would want to ask? And then you exchange your questions and you write answers. But that one for today, we are not going to do. So that one we skip. To wrap it up for our reading 2 session, so we read the article, 10,000 hours to mastery, knowing what an article looks like, very specific paragraphs, and we looked at the vocabulary. Also, we went over 3 very important reading skills today. Do you remember? Ayo. The first one, previewing, exactly. When you know the topic of the text, so the type of the text, topic of the text, and the purpose of the text, that will give you focus. Second, skimming, very good. When you find the main idea of the text that covers the whole text by reading the introduction, the first sentence of each body paragraph, and a concluding paragraph. And third, scanning, when you go over a text, not reading it, but just scanning over it, focusing on a keyword that will help you answer a question. Very good. And then we discussed how to distinguish voice in quotations. And why is it important that you distinguish the voice in a quotation? Because you want to know who's talking. Is it the narrator talking, or is it someone else talking? You need to know the difference. And you need to know how it shifts. Because maybe the author starts talking and then it shifts to someone else. And you need to be able to recognize that, and how to put the quotations for the quotation marks in a quotation. Now, and the last what we did was seeing how reading 1 and reading 2 are connected, and how they are similar and how they are different, what they have in common and what not. Okay, that was it for today. It was awesome for you to join me today watching this video and doing all the activities. I'm very grateful and I'm proud of you. Keep being enthusiastic in your learning process, and we will see each other very soon with a new video. Okay, bye.